and he said that it reminds him of a diesel engine.
What was there when you were young? You have two older brothers, a father who was successful. Did they put some? Yeah, as the youngest in the family, maybe did you have the idea that when you were young you had something to prove more than now?
Yeah, probably. My brothers are a lot older than me too, so in a way it was like I had three dads at times, you know.
But was it hard for you at some points?
Not really. Not really difficult to. I always just felt very protected and safe in this world, you know, having a strong dad and then two older brothers that were really good role models and strong. I guess if I had to sit and think about it, I guess I did feel like I had to live up to, you know, what they'd started, but it always felt pretty easy to do. I just felt like I had to be a good guy more than anything, you know, just try to be well-mannered and things like that. They didn't put too much pressure on me or anything.
Is there some things that from your youth that you now father yourself that you take now as an example, or maybe totally different, maybe in your education towards your kids?
Yeah, and I think one of the main things with my own dad was he always led by example and didn't tell us what to do too much. He always gave us a lot of space to figure it out and to fail on our own if that's what it took to understand things, but to just try to lead by example. So with surfing, for instance, he never told us that we should surf. It was just that we'd see him come home from surfing and he would tell us about his best rides, or he would tell us about what he saw on the water. He always seemed so rejuvenated when he came home, so I think just naturally we all wanted to do that. You know, we just followed his footsteps.
What does he think of your music?
My dad? He liked it, but my dad was always somebody who, he gave me a couple of funny quotes before. I remember the first time I ever did a turn surfing, I was right in front of our house where we were living, and he was on the beach sitting there. And I took off on this wave, and instead of just going straight, I leaned and I turned my board and I went this way, and I changed directions. And I came running up the beach and I was like, "Dad, did you see that? I just did a turn." And he said, "Nope, didn't see it." And I just was like, "What?" Turned around, ran back out, and I wanted to do it again so he'd see it this time, you know. And he was kind of like that. He was always a little cryptic in his answers and things. So with the music, yeah, I mean, he came up one time and he rode his bike up, he'd ride his bike around, and he came over to our studio and sat in there for a minute. I played him a song, and then he listened to it, and he said, "Ah, sounds good," and he took off. And he came back that afternoon. We were still working on the same song. As musicians do, they kind of like overanalyze all the little things of these little details. He came and sat down, and he's like, "All right, what do you guys got?" Like joking around. I played him the song again, and he's like, and I said, "What do you think?" And he goes, "Sounds pretty much exactly like it sounded this morning to me." And then he left, you know. So he'd say little things like that. And then he would say, "I don't understand why you guys don't just do one take and then just call it a song." He'd always laugh at us for spending all day doing overdubs and stuff. And then one time I showed him a song, and he said, "It sounds like techno."
But is he has one time expressed that he's proud, maybe?
Oh yeah, no, he likes it. Probably the biggest compliment he ever gave me was about a song called Holes to Heaven, and he said that it reminds him of a diesel engine on a boat. But I know that was a really good thing for him, because it was a song about this surf trip we took on this fishing boat down in off these islands in India. And as we were traveling around, we were on this old diesel boat, and so I knew that was a nice compliment for him. He told me it reminded him of the diesel engine.